We'll get started here in a second. We start here at 6:15, so a little bit later, but we'll get started here in about 2 minutes. If you guys have any coins you want us to look at, let us know. We'll get started here at 6:15. And I think Bitcoin's looking pretty toppy right now, but better late than never. GRT's popping up as well. Yeah, that's looking good. Well, we'll get started here in a few seconds. Hopefully a few more people join, otherwise we'll get started here at 6:15. I guess we'll get started on Bitcoin. So right now Bitcoin looks a little bit toppy to me. We do have a sell signal on the 15-minute chart. Let me turn down the music. We do have a sell signal on the 15-minute chart. We are actually new all-time highs. The would put us at basically at 48.3. We see what we exactly got up to. If we go down to the small time frames, I can kind of see that. So on the small time frames, we basically got up to $48,225 today. Looking pretty good for Bitcoin, at least in that aspect. But I think short term, maybe you see 50K. I think at 50K, there's going to be a pretty good rejection. And I think because, first of all, on the bigger time frames, you are overbought for Bitcoin. So if we go to the 15-minute chart, the RSI is at 50, which is actually not too bad. If we go over to the 1 hour chart, you are going to have a sell signal right here. Usually they do play out on the bigger time frames. Let's go to the 4 hour. I think the 4 hour even has one. Yes, it does. And the RSI on the 4 hours at 70, so that is bought at 70. If we go to the 6 hour, we don't have a sell signal yet, but the RSI on that is at 78. So I think there's going to be some sort of rejection off of 50K, whether that's a 5K rejection or whatever. I think at least we will see 45K for Bitcoin in the coming days, but we'll see how that plays out. That's my prediction for Bitcoin. I think we are overbought on the bigger time frame, so I think we have to cool down on the RSI, but who knows? We'll see. I think there's going to be psychological resistance at 50K as well. So that's just why I'm calling for a 40 to 45K Bitcoin after we hit 50K. We might wick above 50K, but I think within the next week we see 45K again for Bitcoin. That's kind of my prediction on that. So I'm not buying in right now. I'd be looking to buy in below 45K. Especially if we go down to 40K, I'd definitely buy there because I think that's going to be support at 40K. But we will see. We could go back to up to the upper 30s. I agree with you. I think that's probably a place we could go. Welcome, Eric. So we'll see what happens with Bitcoin, but I think we definitely need to have at least a little bit of a cool off, whether that's 45K or 40K or possibly high 30s. I think that's all in the playbook. But yeah, I guess we'll see. I don't think it's going to be a crazy hard rejection off 50K. Like, I don't think we're going back down to 30K, but I definitely think there could be some sort of rejection off of 50K. So that's kind of what I'm looking for Bitcoin. I'm not getting in a position right now. I did actually get out of my position. I think it was at 43,500. Actually 43,650. Not that it really matters, but that's where I got out. I took profits a little bit early, but never hurts to take profits. I will get back in, hopefully lower than that. But otherwise, if we see support at 45K and a strong bounce, I'd be willing to buy in a little bit higher once I feel safe about there being a support. But obviously, I'm just playing the waiting game on Bitcoin right now. There are a few altcoins that are popping off. Let's go over to Ethereum first of all. Oh, I don't think Ethereum is popping off, but we'll look at Ethereum and then we'll talk about the other altcoins. And then if you guys have any requests, let me know. I sold half my Bitcoin to buy back in later. That's fine. Congrats for taking profits. What do you think about Ethereum and its price predictions? We're looking at Ethereum right now. So if we go to the 15-minute time frame for Ethereum, there's going to be a little bit of support at 1700. I have not drawn that as support yet because it wouldn't be very strong support, but I do believe there's a little bit of support at $1,700. If you break that, though, my thoughts are going back down to 1500. Now, on the 15-minute chart, you do have a few sell signals here. You got 4 in a row right there. RSI is not too bad on the 15-minute chart. The 1 hour chart, though, you get 2 more sell signals. When you get sell signals on anything above the 1 hour chart or the 1 hour chart, I think that means in the short term or medium term, you're going to see some sort of consolidation. Our size looking fine at 56, but like I said, I still think we've probably gone up a little bit too fast on this. Although I think we could easily see 2K before we see any sort of consolidation. That's my opinion on that. 4 hour chart, you don't have any recent sell signals, but just a few. Like yesterday, you got 2 sell signals. That was yesterday. So overall, I think we could see 2K on this. But this is not going to go to 2K until Bitcoin stops pumping. If Bitcoin finds a top at 50K tomorrow, then maybe within a week we see 50K on this. But that's not going to happen until we see a top on Bitcoin. And if Bitcoin dumps back down to 40K, this thing could actually come back down to $1,500. If Bitcoin just chills between these prices at 45 to 50K for the next week, then I think this thing could start rallying again to 2K. But that's not going to happen until Bitcoin settles down a little bit. So that's kind of my analysis on that. If this, then that kind of for Ethereum. So it all depends on what Bitcoin does. But I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a retest of at least $1,700 before we continue higher. And if you break 1700, then 1500. That's kind of where it's at. And if you get above 1800, well, that would be very good as well, because then you could definitely confirm support at 1700. But I haven't drawn that yet because I don't think that'd be very strong support at 1700. My price predictions though for this bull run is I think Ethereum will easily see 10K by September. 10 to 15K is my price range of what I think Ethereum will be at. And I know it's a pretty big range, but I think easily 10K is probably what we're gonna see for Ethereum. That's my bullish prediction. Let's go over to GRT, then we'll look at Litecoin. This thing is going crazy. I did actually get stopped out yesterday at 94 cents. I have not bought back in. So what I waited and what I'm playing on GRT is I'm playing this. There's going to be support at $1. I need to draw that in there. But there will be support at $1 for GRT. I have a buy order right now in for $1 on GRT. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't buying in, right near resistance. So now I know $1 support. I will be putting a buy order in at $1. So I wanted to buy in right at support versus resistance. So that's kind of how I played it. I'm buying in higher, but I feel safer about doing so. So that's kind of what I'm playing on GRT. So if it goes back down to $1, I do have a buy order in at $1. It's looking very good for GRT though. But I would expect us maybe get rejected at 113 because this was one of the fibs I drew when this coin first came out. So 113 could be a little bit of resistance. If it is, then you can see a retest of $1, and that's when I would get in. If it doesn't go back down to $1, then I guess I don't get in on this trade, and that's unfortunate. But hopefully we see a $1. I think we will see $1 GRT again within the next 24 hours. Usually when you go up relatively fast, you always come back down to retest support, and $1 would be support for GRT. Now, with that being said, let's go over to Litecoin. So Litecoin sitting at $183. You do have resistance at 190, and you have support at 171. Now this is on the 4-hour chart, so let's go to a smaller time frame. You do have a sell signal down here, but I think you can probably ignore that because that was like It wasn't. It was about. It was yesterday, but that was also when you were at 150, and that since then you've broken this resistance here at 158, and you've also broken 172. So it's been rallying actually. Let's go over to a smaller time frame, like a 1 hour. You did have two sell signals here, but again, that was right at resistance, and you went right through it. So again, you can invalidate these two sell signals. The 15-minute chart, you even getting sell signals again, so maybe these you gotta take into consideration, especially 3 in a row on the 15-minute chart. RSI though is at 70 on the RSI. I need to look at the RSI in the bigger time frames again. And 1 hour is looking at 72, so you're overbought in the 1 hour. The 4 hour is overbought at 74, so not crazy overbought, but you're definitely overbought. So I would think you have a chance to see 190, a rally up to 190. Remember, in bull markets, the RSI can definitely be overbought for an extended period of time, but at some point you always have to come back down and cool it off. So 190 is possible on this run here. But then I think you're definitely going to see $172 again, 170, 172 again. So I would expect this to happen in Litecoin. You probably come up here, retest 190 or test 190 as resistance. My guess is with the RSI being at what it's at, you get rejected, and you probably test, eventually you test 170 to 172 as support, and then from there you could go back down to 160, or you could bounce up and go back up to 190 and try to break it then. But that's kind of what I would be expecting for Litecoin. We'll see if that happens. Right now I would say this is probably not a buy because the RSI is pretty high on all the time frames. You're getting sell indicators, and you're not really near support, I should say, and resistance is at 190. If you break 190 and turn that into support, then maybe you could put a breakout trade in above 190, but right now this is no trade zone for me, right in between support and resistance, so not a buy. I don't have to pay for the sell signals. I think the sell signals are not accurate on the small time frames below the 15-minute chart. I think once you get to the 15-minute chart and above, I think they become more accurate. But you also can't just look at them. You also have to look at support and resistance, because if you look at just the sell signals, there's a lot of chances you aren't going to make a lot of money. So you have to look at them both. You have to be able to see support and resistance, because if it says a buy signal, but you're still right at resistance, and it doesn't make sense to buy in. So you have to, you can't just look at the buy and sell signals, but I'm pretty sure you can get the indicators on the free version. I do have the paid version, so I'm not sure, but I would assume you can get that in the free version as well. Well, actually, I know you can get on the free version because I've used my phone when I'm on vacation and stuff, and I can use it sell or buy signals as well when I'm not signed into my account. So I'm pretty sure you can get on the free version. But you have to set up your chart like that. So here's what I do. I'll show you how to do it. So you go over to indicators. You go over to candlestick patterns, and it's literally all candlestick patterns is what I clicked on, and then it should work. I mean, that's what I did to get a set up, so I would assume it's the same on the phone because I've done it the same way on the phone. So if it's not working for you, then I can help you later, but that's what I did to get it set up. It's pretty simple. Maybe I know on the phone it's a little more complicated, but yeah, I'm pretty sure the chart still looks the same on the phone, so it should work. You're welcome. Is there any other coin requests? Tomorrow we will try to be back live at 6 p.m. Central Time, the normal time. Is there a TradingView app? I don't use the app because I don't think it works as well as the website, so I always use the website when it's TradingView. The app I can't figure out, honestly, so I've never used the app for trading. It just doesn't work. I don't like how it's set up, so I always use the web. I just look up TradingView on the website, and online I should say, and then go there. Otherwise, if there's no other requests, I'm going to wrap it up for tonight. I think Bitcoin's looking pretty good. I would expect GRT to see $1 again before we continue much higher. Like I said, you could see 113 and then maybe $1. Hopefully that happens for my sake because I have a buy order at $1. But I'm pretty bullish on GRT right now. Bitcoin, like I said, kind of toppy. You could probably go up another 1,000. Well, you'd probably go up to 50K maybe and then get rejected and then maybe see 40K again or something, 45K. But that's my analysis of the markets overall. You need to get this hoodie? Yeah, contact me whenever you're ready. Thank you guys for joining this live stream. I'll see you guys tomorrow at 6 p.m. Central Time. Trade safe, guys. Until tomorrow, good luck.